Hello everyone, it's Georgia Sweeting from Total Telecom and we're here at the Excel in London for Connected Britain Day 1. I'm joined here by Colin Wrightson from Juniper Networks. Colin, thank you so much for being here with me today. How are you finding Connected Britain so far?
Really, really good, really busy. We've had a wonderful turnout across the whole of the stand. I think obviously having the F1 simulator there obviously helps, but no, it's been really good so far.
Yeah, it looks great. So to kick things off then, everyone's talking about the likes of AI and ChatGPT, but what's the reality of AI in the networking space?
So it's an interesting question in the fact that for a lot of people AI is relatively new, but from a Juniper standpoint we've been using AI probably for the last 3 to 4 years. So we've been using it across all of our enterprise product sets, we've been using it to analyse what customers are acting, how they get across the network, whether they're going to hit any problems. And we consciously, I think probably about 4 years ago, moved away from the principle of connecting to the network is good and everything will be fine, realising that actually it's down to the user experience. So, all of us connect across the Wi-Fi, we connect to that, we have a Teams call, and it will hang halfway through. It will break, something will get stuck. And you generally try to then say, well, it's the network's fault. What we've tried to do, though, is use AI to try and predict and smooth out how a user connects across the network. So with those multiple points as they go across the network, we can analyse, self-heal, and adjust to make sure that all users get a seamless experience. So, as I say, from a AI perspective, yeah, we've been using this for a long time, and in some regards that also benefits the people who run the networks as well, because the number of troubleshooting tickets, the number of faults, the number of problems drops drastically, which means then from a productivity perspective, people who run the network can go off and do different things and the network can essentially look after itself.
Great, thank you. And obviously the title of the event today is Connected Britain, but do you agree that connectivity is just the start of being online at the moment?
Oh, completely. Because also there's multiple mediums in which you now connect. I think a lot of people are not taking into account we've got 5G. And 5G, I think once it starts getting off the ground, will change things dynamically. Because all of a sudden, if you're sitting at home and you connect to a broadband router, you won't have a broadband router because you'll have a 5G connection. So connectivity is the starting point for any connectivity. Any digital interaction runs across the network. So yeah, the connectivity is one point, then it's that seamless user experience, then it's making it as secure and reliable as possible, and then making sure that it stands out the way, that people don't worry about the network, it's seamless, they connect across it, it's just there. It's the medium by which you connect across to everything else.
Thank you. And just adding off that little point a little bit, how important is reliability and security when you're choosing a vendor?
I think it's fundamental because I think, rightly or wrongly, our attitudes to how long it takes to connect to something have diminished. If you're connecting across to Netflix, other providers are available, but if you're connecting across Netflix and it hangs, you're like, what's going on? No one has the tolerance now. So yes, your network has to be very reliable, which means we have to build resiliency into every single point across the network. And if you look, when you see, again, Netflix as an example, when you connect from your TV, you're probably going to connect across nearly 200 different nodes, probably over 100 and 150 miles, and yet you'll get a very small glitch that lasts a millisecond and everyone complains. So we have to build that in. But on top of that, we have to build in seamless security. So it has to be completely transparent to the user, not even aware that they've got a secure connection, and yet they've got a perfectly secure, unhackable connection that connects from where they're sitting, watching their movies or streaming or doing that, all the way through the network to the endpoint and then back again.
Thank you. And just finally then, COP28 is coming up and obviously a lot of people care about sustainability, but is it a hot topic in the networking world?
I think it's probably been a hot topic in the networking industry for probably 10 years or so. It's something we've been talking about for as long as that, if not more, because back, let's go 13 years ago, we used to produce very large boxes that used a large amount of power with large chips, but the speed and throughput wasn't that big. If you look now, those boxes are ultra small with more and more throughput, more and more capability that use significantly less power. So I think our aim has always been to try and get more and more out of the boxes, and more so because those boxes, whether it's routers and software, are going to be sitting in a customer's network for 10, 12, 13 years. So we've tried to engineer everything that as customers update, they become more efficient and more powerful. So yeah, every customer we speak to wants to talk about ESG, they want to talk about how green our products are, they want to know how we've built them, what they're going to get from them over the period of time that they use them, and then actually what happens when they don't use them any longer. What processes do we get in place to recycle all of those products, try to reuse as much as possible, and use e-waste as, as in the best way that we can.
Great, thank you, Colin. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your time at Connected Britain.
That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.